Is life a struggle for you? Well, you're not alone, and the struggle is real. So, we're going to talk about that today. It seems like every day is a struggle, is it not? We just, if you are victorious in life, it's not going to be without its bumps and its humps and its hills. And I will tell you one thing that is an absolute certain: success is not linear. You're not just shooting down one of those big highways, interstate highways, and it's just a straight road for as far as you can see. If you succeed, you're going to have humps and bumps and bruises, and it's not going to be easy. So, why do you do what you do? If you're a mother and you're taking care of a bunch of little children, or if you have to work and make a living and you go to work to a job that you may or may not be crazy about, why do you do what you do? Maybe you've got relationships that aren't particularly comfortable because the person has issues, or there's just, maybe they're kind of toxic, or but you stay in the relationship. Well, you have to have a reason why. Why do you do it? Maybe you're in a loveless marriage, and you've been there for years and you don't plan to ever change. Maybe you have a narcissist in your life, and you have committed that you are going to stay in that relationship. Well, why do you do what you do? We have to have reasons. Now, there's a lot of different reasons why we might stay in a relationship. It might be insecurity on our part. It might be a true and a genuine love. If you get a family member that's a narcissist, or they're toxic in some way. I don't like to use the word narcissist, honestly, because there's just a very few, people in the world that are actually narcissists. A lot of us have, including me, have had or have narcissistic tendencies. It's learned behavior that we've had because we have been tossed about and beat up in this life, something fierce. But, it may be insecurities, it may be financial, it might be love, it could be loyalty. I am loyal to family. Most of my family don't talk to me, but I'm loyal to them. I never stop praying about them and thinking about them and grieving over them, But they haven't been able to handle me. I was a pill. To handle. And, they have their own lives, and they have their own kids, and they have their own problems. And they didn't have time for me. Not because they're bad people, and I say this all over again. I don't have time to add a lot of extra people into my life. But whatever it is you're doing, and I'm sure you're doing a bunch of stuff that's uncomfortable, or not easy, or it's a struggle, why do you do what you do? That, I think, is a key to understanding how to keep going. If you know why you do what you do and you are committed, then you know what you need to do to keep going and to succeed. But not without humps and bumps, and it's not going to be linear. Now, for me, I'm a survivor. Early on, very early on in life, I figured out that if I was going to make it, I had to be strong. I had to be resilient. I had to be determined. I had to be smart. And no, I'm not highly educated, but I had to be smart. The whole saying in the Bible, wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Well, I tried to be harmless. Wasn't always harmless, but I had to be wise. If I wasn't wise, I was going to be eat up from neglect, abuse, toxic people. It wasn't an easy road. And it's not an easy road now, but it's easier now. and it's more enjoyable now. And I tell you, even though the last 4 years of my life, even the last 8 years of my life, has been some of the hardest for me to get through, it has been the best part of my life. I went through all of these traumatic situations, but I learned. I kept learning. I became aware of who I was, how bad I was, how I needed to change. And then as my awareness grew, and I have now reached a state of rebuilding, I'm enjoying it. But it's still not without its humps and bumps. Now, if you've watched a couple of my last videos, you know I went into an ADHD freeze over a couple of days ago, and I got a whole video on that. Just go back a video or two. And I had said, I hadn't been to the grocery store. Well, we went to the grocery store yesterday. It always exhausts me. But there was a whole lot of little humps and bumps in that. We got home from the grocery store, and we're working into and transitioning into a carnivore diet. Now, there's a lot of reasons that I worried about it, and some of them you're going to understand, because mine and Joseph's blood sugars will drop. Now, I've got provisions in the groceries if that happens, that we'll be able to take care of that. Jamie's diabetes is uncontrolled, and he's a big carb eater. He loves his rice, he loves his noodles and all of that, and it's really hard. It's hard. He's a big guy. He likes to eat, and he's hindered from eating what he wants, and he's been diabetic since he was 11 years old. He's just tired of it. He's tired of fighting the battle. So we together decided we were going to do carnivore, and Joe jumped on board for a couple of reasons. For Jamie's part, it's pretty understandable and reasonable. You know why he needs to go carnivore, because he needs to get his numbers down. He needs to get his glucose numbers down. But the second reason, and this is one reason that me and Joe are at least doing a variation of the carnivore diet, which, if you don't know what that is, it is any animal product essentially. So you've got, beef, chicken, turkey, fish, the animal products, which are eggs, cheese. We've added milk to our diet, which isn't normally in a carnivore diet, but milk suits us. Noogie always starts whining when I start recording. He thinks somebody else is getting our attention. Noogie, little boy, no. Go get in your bed. Go get in your bed. He's such a bad boy. He's such a bad boy. Oh my goodness. What am I ever going to do with you, buddy? What am I ever going to do with you? You're such a problem. You're a problem child. Do you see that? You see that? Huh? Look at you. Look at you. You see yourself in the mirror? Huh? So we went to the grocery store, and then we came home, and we were tired. And when I'm tired, a lot of times I have kind of an emotional breakdown. Now, I've learned that when I have an emotional spasm, that generally it's fatigue or something like that, and if I wait, it will pass. But yesterday was a bad one, and I'm a crier. I can't help myself. My dad cried a lot. I think it's genetic. But when I get to thinking about, some of my fails, people I've failed, things that I've done wrong, things that I've lost, grieving over family that I'm estranged from, I can get really broken up, and I grapple for that question. Why do I do it? Why do I keep trying? Well, I keep trying because I have hope, and I have faith, and I won't give up. I will not give up. I will not surrender. But yesterday evening was hard because of a couple of things. Because of the new diet, even though, we feel fine about what we're eating and everything, we are going through a little bit of a detox. So Jamie and I both had a horrendous headache, which is part of it. And we struggled to sleep. So there's a certain amount of, and I've read up on this and studied it a lot, that I considered going vegetarian, vegan even. I considered keto, but like I said, the second reason that I decided to, at least, we're doing this 1 week at a time, but the reason that we decided to go carnivore was because people on the carnivore diet seem to recover miraculously from many, many chronic illnesses. Autoimmune, cancer, diabetes, many, many things, many, many chronic diseases that people have can be cured by the carnivore diet. And there's a lot of aspects to it that I didn't understand, but I have been a pretty big vegetable eater most of my life, and I love vegetables. I love salad, I love fruits and berries, and I just love that fresh feeling. But I still struggle with autoimmune, being overweight. I know I'm either hypoglycemic or borderline diabetic, so I know I have these chronic illnesses, and so I just decided it was worth giving it a try. But it made the day bad, and it was a hump in the road. It was a twist. Like I said, success is not linear. You're not going to just get on the road and travel the road and it's going to be easy. You're going to have your humps and your bumps. As I said, I am a survivor. I will not give up, especially I won't give up trying to make a difference in this world for people that are suffering. And especially I won't give up for those that I know do love me and probably grieve over me and have not quite caught up to the improvements that I've made, or can't get over some of the horrible, horrendous mistakes I've made in my life, and they can't forgive me. But I won't give up. I'm going to leave this world, whether it's tomorrow or 20 years down the road. I am going to leave this world fighting. I'm going to leave this world working on myself to become the very best person I can be. I'm sure that there's a lot of things I'm not aware of yet. What you do, once you figure out that you are committed to someone or something, and you ask yourself, why? Why am I going to do this? Even though you know it's going to be difficult, even though you know it's going to be maybe a heartache, why are you doing it? Then the next step is to make up your mind you're going to do it with all your heart. With me, I do it as unto the Lord. I give everything I can as unto the Lord. Put all of your effort into that. And yeah, you're going to think, wow, I've just got so much accomplished. But then you're going to hit a brick wall one day. And when you hit that brick wall, you're going to think, I don't even know how I'm living, much less how to keep on, how to keep fighting, how to keep going. What's the point in keep going? But just always go back to that question. Why are you doing it? Is it love, loyalty, surviving? Is it love, loyalty? And if you're blessed enough to have ambition and motivation, that's a great thing. I have tons of ambition, but because a lot of times I feel bad or I'm upset or I'm struggling, and we all do, even if you're a person that hasn't had some of the health issues that I've had, you're going to struggle sometimes to motivate yourself. And some people are really good at motivating, but they have a skewed ambition. So they have tons of motivation to do things, but it's not necessarily productive things. So we all struggle. Try to keep people around you that build you up. A lot of times that's not family. And sometimes, unfortunately, families have to diverge. They have to separate because they do each other more harm than good. And hopefully that's not a forever state, but sometimes it's necessary. And sometimes God will put people into your life that will support you, will stand by you, will be that source of comfort and strength that you need. And it may not be mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, or whatever. It may be a total stranger. But try to keep those people in your life and do everything you can to heal every relationship that you have. We all only have just a certain amount of space. We can only do so much. Use all of the tools that you can. I don't have a dishwasher. If I had a dishwasher, I'd be using it. I don't know everything, but I use AI to help me know what I need to know. I use a lot of AIs that help me along in a lot of different ways. Use the tools. And you're going to realize that, doing things the hard way generally just causes you not to get things done. And prepare for your downtimes. Now, we have already made it up in our mind that whenever we go to the grocery store, it's so taxing on us. Not only because we're out in the public, the whole driving and the traffic's bad, trying to majorly concentrate on what we need to buy and not missing anything, because we only go once a week, and if you forget something, well, then you just more or less do without it. I mean, we can run up to the dollar store or something like that and get something. Prepare for those downtimes. We know that when we go to the store, the rest of that afternoon we're going to be pretty much useless, and sometimes the next day. So it's on up in the day, and I have a lot to accomplish today because somebody from work is coming to visit the house tomorrow, and of course I need to have the house clean and things ready where we can have our little meeting. Now, with me, in the midst of all of this up and down and bumps and carrying on and work and everything that's going on, I also have a really, really healthy sense of ambition. And my ambition, I'm a very visual thinker, so I've got my very own private Pinterest in my head, so I'm seeing what I want to accomplish, and then when I look around in real life and see that it's not that way, I get very impatient with myself. But I've learned to prepare for those downtimes. You have to realize that overcoming takes time. And I know that all of us have seen these people that, they had great parents, they were raised very well, they had a really healthy adolescence and a really healthy education, and they just started on in life, and they had, a beautiful wedding, and they have careers, and they have children, and everything just seems like was laid out for them. But unfortunately, some of us don't have that, and we have to make our own way, overcoming the things in your life that have been treacherous, harmful, that have pulled you back. And it may not be because your parents failed or because someone else failed. I can see where there was ways I was neglected and failed and stuff all through life. I've even had periods of my life where I was under mental abuse, physical abuse. But my biggest problem was the fact that I was born autistic and neurodivergent. And, but regardless of what the reasons are, it takes time to overcome. It takes time to learn. And you can't be rushed in these things. But you do need to have a purpose that you're going to continue to strive to improve yourself. And I always try to think about, what to do first. One of my issues with my neurodivergence is that I have a very difficult time prioritizing. I am in the process of thinking about planning on creating a mind map because I have so much to accomplish. And even though I have my down times and my bad times, what's really, really important is that I'm able to jump right back on the track when I get off. And I get off often. This has been like a week of falling off the rails. And if I have a visual right in front of me, I can jump right back on and then go to the level that I was at. I treat my life a whole lot like a game. Like, say you were playing Lord of the Rings online, and you've got your task and your deeds, and you got a step-by-step process to go through. I treat life that way because it's the only way that I can stay on task. Or I would just sit around and with a numb brain fog going on, and I'd never get anything done. I have to have stuff written down. So, already today has been a trial. But, I got up and I did a lot of things, little things that have to be done first thing in the morning. And, the animals always have to be fed. Everybody in the house has to be fed. And that has to happen no matter how bad I feel or no matter how sick I am. I have to do my logging in, my logging out. So I have accomplished a whole lot of things today. But there's always that thing. If you watched the video I did on Noogie the other day, you realize that he has to wear diapers in the house. And occasionally, because he's got skinny hips, if I don't get his diaper tight enough, it'll slip off. So I came in and I sat down on the couch this morning, just getting ready to talk to John, my PI. And I was just going to kind of get my brain pulled together and all of that. And I sat down on the couch. And I saw Noogie go through the house, and he lifted his leg to pee on the blanket that was on the stool. And I wasn't thinking anything about it because he does that even with his diaper on. He'll go around thinking he's marking on everything, but he's got his diaper on, so I don't really have to worry about it. And he come through there, and he peed on the blanket, and he lifted his leg to pee on the blanket, and I realized that he had slipped his diaper. So I took that. I keep all these little blankets around because I can wash them real easy and keep everything clean. So I took that and put it in the blanket, but when I went to get up off the couch, I always put my hand behind me to kind of push myself up on the edge. And when I put my hand down, that blanket had been peed on too. So I put both of those blankets. I don't know where else. I may find other places that I have to clean or other things I need to wash, but I'm like, that's all I needed today. Really, really, really. So again, why do I do what I do? Why do I take care of these little rescue animals? Because I love them and I'm loyal. And I feel like that if I take them in, nobody's going to love them quite like I do. And maybe somebody would, but what are the chances I'm going to find somebody that does? And then I think about how traumatized that they would be if suddenly this family that they've got used to and that they know and that they trust, and suddenly they were thrown into another home that they didn't know. I can't do that to them. I can't, in my heart of hearts, rehome an animal if it has become attached, or if I understand what needs to be taken care of. And I'm that way. I mean, I've had a lot of people just cut me out of their life, but I can never cut anybody out of my life, even if I never see them, even if there's boundaries so high. I still love them. I still care. And there are a few people that I've had to separate myself from because they were hurtful or dangerous or, some other thing. But I still don't give up praying for them, thinking about them, and wishing well for them. I still worry. I'm the worst worrier ever was, and I try to just give everything to God every day so that I don't worry. Now, I'm a little low energy today, but don't worry about me. I'm doing good. And I have got a horse load of house cleaning to do today because I have to get ready for my meeting tomorrow. And I have a lot of things to plan. I still want to make my mind map. One of the things that I'm planning on doing soon is I'm going to get into Temu more. I'm planning on becoming an affiliate and working into Temu. Different affiliate programs. This is one of the income streams that we're going to work on. It's part of the online income stream, residual income stream that we're working on. But this is one of the big things that's coming up, doing Temu. And that will allow me to do Temu hauls. And I will be sharing more crafts going forward. I got things to do. I will be sharing more vlogs on different things I'm going to be doing around the house. But right now, I'm taking on this carnivore diet, which is like, you know, why would I do this? Well, we have to get healthier. We have to get stronger. We have to get Jamie's diabetic glucose down. And I need to lose weight. Oh, we bought a set of scales yesterday at Walmart. So, and oddly enough, it's the exact weight that it was when we went to the doctor, which is unusual for scales you have at home. But we did that. I'm sorry that this video has been kind of just like a really drab talking head, but I like to touch base with you most every day and let you know where I'm at. And so I'm going to do my best to get myself all stirred up and get the housework done and get all ready, because we have to take care of the biggest things first. Eat your frog first, they say. And I'm sorry I didn't have anything. This is one thing I can show. Jamie paid $3 for this flashlight, and it is amazing. A light like you would never seen. I mean, this is like military police grade lumens. And this little bar right here flashes blue and red. It almost looks like a police car, and you really would have to be really careful how you use that, but you didn't want to get in trouble for impersonating a police officer, because it's so bright when it's flashing. If it was a distance away and people didn't know what it was, they might think it was a police car. But the brightness was crazy. And I'm not, you know, this is something that's out there, but I'll tell you what happened to Jamie the other morning. We leave for to go to the store at 6 in the morning, because we would like to get to Sam's and fill up on gas before the long lines start, because after 7 the lines just get really, really bad at our Sam's for gas. And it was very cold, and Jamie went out to the truck to turn it on and get it warmed up for us. And I was just pulling things together, getting ready to go out the door, and he come back in, but he was saying, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." And apparently when he went out, he saw, I guess it was drones flying over, and they weren't really close to the ground, but they were flying in a line, like a straight line, like they were all together. And he had this flashlight with him, and of course it does have a very, very strong light. And when he shined the light up in the sky on those drones, their lights went out. That was kind of weird. It freaked him out, because you see these things on the news and on YouTube and stuff, but you don't expect it to happen to you. But it did happen to him. And, you know, if it had been an airplane or something, you know, him shining a flashlight their way wouldn't have made the lights go out. But that was an interesting experience. Who knows what's going on in this world, and I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories or politics or anything like that. But it was an experience that he actually went through, and it was quite shocking for him. But we're doing good, and videos will keep coming. They'll keep flowing, and hopefully they'll be less boring than this one. But if you're not exactly happy with your life, and you're doing things that are difficult and hard, ask yourself, why are you doing it? And if your reason is valid and you intend to commit to that thing, that person, then take these other steps to do a better job. And if your reasons are not great, then consider, not doing what you're doing. You got to think about yourself, and you got to think about what's best. But I'm going to say bye for now, and I'm sorry this has been such a sleepy, boring video, but it's important, and we have to stick with what's important, right? So I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.